archives of the United States Cavalry, the true stories of Colonel Randall Mackenzie and the cavalrymen he led. Mackenzie's Raiders. His secret orders from the President of the United States. Clean up the Southwest. Make it a fit place for Americans to live. Wipe out the renegades, outlaws, and murderers. If necessary, cross the Rio Grande, knowing capture means hanging by the enemy. Discovery, court-martial by the United States Army. West Texas, summer 1874, the southern extreme of the Yamparica Comanche country. Now, through the efforts of Colonel Randall Mackenzie, peace was gradually coming to this land. However, one man, Quanah Parker, locked behind the vastness of his hills, held the key to the problem. Only at his command would the Quadi Nation rise and plunge the territory into bloody warfare. And only at his command could there be peace. At that moment, several miles away, an event was about to take place that would have far-reaching effect on this new peace. Blue Raven, the son of Chief Running Bear, was dead.
He's out there someplace. If I could just get him to come in for a talk.
Do no good, sir. Quanah Parker's talked peace before.
Not to me, he hasn't. By the way, Jim, I've been meaning to tell you, I'm real pleased to have you in my command here at Fort Clark. I wrote your dad and told him so.
Thank you, sir.
You know, there's some things, though, about Southwest Texas that you don't know all about yet. One of those things is Quanah Parker.
Colonel, begging your pardon, sir, but he isn't like old Running Bear.
Oh? Well, how do you think I made peace with Running Bear?
You whipped him.
You may be new at Fort Clark, but you know our strength here. If I'd used every available trooper, I couldn't have whipped him.
You mean he made peace just by talks?
By talks? By concessions? Concessions on both sides.
You mean he made demands and you gave in to him?
I made other demands, and he gave in to me.
Quanah Parker's different. He won't give in.
You familiar with our campaigns against him in the north?
Yes, sir.
Well, you know then that our last 5 skirmishes against Quanah Parker have been virtual standoffs. All we're succeeding in doing is slowly wiping each other out.
We can always send east for replacements.
Yes, but with just one word, Quanah Parker could surround himself with Arapahoes, Cheyennes, Kiowas, and maybe even Running Bear's tribe.
You think he'd break the treaty?
They're both Comanches. So you see how important, Jim, it is that we at least keep trying to talk to Quanah Parker.
Yes, sir, but how do you go about it?
Is Leif Bender at the fort?
No, he's out on patrol with Major Fulsner. He'll be back in the morning.
First thing you see him, ask him to drop around to my office, will you? I want to talk to him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I reckon I could find him. This time of year, he should be somewhere around Pope's Wells, near the Pecos.
Yeah. You knew him when you served with General Miles, huh? Think you could get him to come in for a talk?
Well, no offense, Colonel, but Quanah Parker's heard soldier talk before.
What if you told him that Running Bear would be here, too?
Well, they're pretty close. It'd go a long ways towards helping him make up his mind.
All right. You tell him just that.
Supposing Running Bear won't come.
You let me worry about that. He'll be here, all right.
Now, hold on, Colonel. You ain't never met this here Quanah Parker.
That's right.
Now, you say Running Bear's gonna be here. Supposing you're wrong, it could mean my scalp. Quanah don't hold with nobody talking with a forked tongue.
Leif, if I'm wrong, if Running Bear doesn't come, if he won't help me make peace with Quanah Parker and his Quaddies, then this whole territory will be fighting to hang on to its scalp.
Colonel, I appreciate how important these peace talks are. Just so as you know, we got to talk straight with this Injun.
Running Bear will be here.
Fine. As soon as I can saddle up a fresh horse, I'll start off for the State Plains.
All right. I'll ride with you as far as the Yamparica country.
The land of the Yamparica was harsh, unrelenting, and so was their justice. For 5 long days, Spotted Elk was to suffer alone while Running Bear decided his punishment. A life had been lost, a young life. The one responsible must pay. No one spoke in defense of the guilty man. There was no defense. There was no pity in the eyes of the Comanche.
The heart of Running Bear is like the night. The brightness of my remaining years has been taken from me. Blue Raven is dead. My son is dead. 5 days have I thought on this. 5 days have I decided on your punishment. Your name, the name of Spotted Elk, will never again be spoken in our village. You will be taken to the desert and left to die.
I too wear the marks of mourning for Blue Raven.
Your punishment will be the end to my grief. Naida.
I'll leave you here, late.
Hope's Wells is a long haul.
Yeah. You bring in Quanah Parker, you can name your own price.
I'll settle for my back pay.
You can have mine, too, when it comes.
If it comes.
I'll see you in a couple of days.
My son is dead, Mackenzie, Colonel. We made a peace so that such as he might live. Now he is dead.
I'm sorry, Chief Running Bear.
Why? The soldiers killed many of my people. Forgive me. 5 days have I grieved. My mind is sick with sadness. For what reason does the chief of Fort Clark come here now?
I was on my way to your village.
You come without your soldiers?
Mackenzie has no need of soldiers. We're friends. I come to talk.
Now is not the time to talk.
Chief Running Bear, the talk would be of Quanah Parker, of his quaddies, of peace.
We talk. And you will treat with the Coates as you have the Yamparika?
If they're honorable people, as your people have been.
Quanapaka is a great chief. They will obey his word.
And he will respect your words, Running Bear. That is why I want you to come to Fort Clark with me, to add your words to mine, to help make the peace.
How do you know of our friendship?
I know it was you who saved the life of the white girl who later became the mother of Quanah
That was many snows past.
And now Quanah makes war on his own people.
The Comanches are his people.
Perhaps. Nonetheless, there is war. You can help to make the peace.
If he comes, I will speak with him. I will not ask him to make peace. That is his decision. I will tell him of the honor of your words, that he can trust in what you say. This I will do.
That is all I ask. Thank you, Chief Running Bear.
Colonel Mackenzie's act of humanity had been an irrevocable affront to Comanche justice. He had unknowingly interfered with the tribal death sentence, despite having sworn in a treaty to respect the Indians' law. Now he would face the wrath of those whose lasting friendship meant so much to the peace of the Southwest.
You refuse?
Of course I don't refuse, Chief, but he can't travel now. He's unconscious.
It is my wish to leave, now with the brave.
But he couldn't stand the trip. The doctor explained that to you. He'd die.
I do not wish that he lives. It was he that caused the death of my son.
Coming from the burial hill, you explained to me what happened. Surely you can't blame him.
I do not wish to speak more on it.
I'm sorry, Chief, but my word stands. I can't let him go.
You refuse to honor our treaty?
The treaty has nothing to do with it. He's a human being. It's a question of justice.
The treaty has much to do with it. It promises the soldiers will not interfere with the laws of our tribe when those laws do not affect your people.
Yes, I know. That may be.
It is the law that Spotted Elk must pay for his crime.
What crime? You said yourself it was an accident, Chief. No, I'm sorry. He stays here until he's well.
Can I now tell Quanah Parker you are honorable to your words?
Don't threaten me, Chief Running Bear.
I do not threaten. In 2 days, decide which you value most, the life of one man or the lives of many. If you insist the treaty be broken, I shall cast my lance at your feet.
Morning of the second day. By now, everyone knew of the situation at Fort Clark. Everyone knew sundown held a portent of war, unless Colonel Mackenzie surrendered to the Indian chief's demand. The weight of command is often oppressing, always solitary. When decisions are made, logic is sometimes mixed with personal feelings. A dangerous thing, a human thing.
Come in.
Sorry to disturb you, Colonel.
It's all right, Sergeant. What's on your mind?
Reporting all companies standing by as ordered, sir.
Fine. All passes canceled?
Yes, sir.
The patrol?
It left a few minutes ago, sir.
Good, good.
Is that all, sir?
That's all, Sergeant. No, it isn't. Sergeant. Sergeant, sit down. Sit down. What else have you got to report?
Nothing, sir.
Wells,
Yes, sir.
how long have we been together?
7 years, 8 months, sir.
And in 7 years, 8 months, don't you think I've gotten to know you pretty well?
Sir?
I can tell when there's something on your mind, Sergeant. You don't think I'm doing right, do you?
I never said that, sir.
No. No, you never said it, but nevertheless, you don't think I'm doing right.
Colonel, sir, you're wrong. I mean, about me, about what I'm thinking. Frankly, sir, I'm thinking that you're the best man that I ever served under. And there have been plenty. You have a reason for what you're doing. We don't know what it is, but whatever, it's good enough for us.
Sergeant, the only reason is that...
Sir, you don't owe nobody an explanation.
Will you listen to me? The only reason is that that Indian is a helpless human being, and he deserves the protection of this fort. It's as simple as that.
Fine, that's fine, sir. Every trooper in this fort will fight for that reason.
Thank you, Sergeant Wells. That's all.
May I have a word with you, sir?
Yes, of course, Captain. Come in.
It's about that Indian.
Yes?
Well, are you really going to keep him here?
Certainly, till he's able to travel.
Then what? And what about Running Bear's ultimatum?
After you've been here for a time, Jim, you'll find that ultimatums don't work too well with me. As far as Spotted Elk is concerned, he's free to leave as soon as he's able.
And some of the men say it's a question of honor. They say he'll go back to his village.
That may be.
So whether you surrender him or he goes back, either way he dies. So what's the difference?
The difference, Captain, is that it'll be his choice. Come in.
Colonel, I have to talk to you, sir.
Yes, Sergeant.
Is that Indian?
That's enough, Sergeant. I've heard quite enough about that Indian.
But he's awake, sir. Colonel, the doctor took this from him.
His medicine bag.
Open it, sir. Probably took it off some settler that he murdered. Sir, we're overlooking something. That Indian is a savage. They're all savages. Pretty little thing like her.
That's all for now, Sergeant.
No man wishes to die.
And you wish to stay here?
I did not say I was afraid of death.
Anyone who asks for the protection of this fort gets it.
What faces you if I stay?
No one has ever been refused.
You endanger many for the sake of one. Your people are weak. Your customs are foolish. Your heart is like a woman. No, it is not true. I have seen your courage, but I do not understand your people.
No more do I understand Running Bear punishing you.
It is the custom.
It is the custom.
You have been faithful to what you believe. Now I must do the same. That is why I shall return to my village.
To die, to be killed.
The doctor took it while I slept. I would like to have it with me when I return to my village.
Another custom.
It was worn by the woman who was my mother.
The woman who was your mother was a captive. A captive of the Indians.
Yes.
He's coming, Colonel. Quanah Parker's on his way in.
You know what he is about
Captain, arrange for a guard of honor.
I kind of thought you'd want to impress him.
Sergeant, see that every available trooper stands by for a review inspection.
But, Colonel, what about the rest of the
Leif,
men?
come with me.
Where are we going, Colonel?
I'll tell you on the way. Jim, I'd remind you that Quanah Parker is the last Comanche holdout. He's an important man. Treat him accordingly. We'll be back.
One last chance, one final hope to avert bloodshed was all that remained to Colonel Ranald Mackenzie. Would Running Bear yield or hurl the lance of war at Mackenzie's feet?
Wait here for me, Leif.
Mackenzie, Colonel. You have come so that the peace may not be broken?
That depends on you, Chief.
You are wrong. It is you who have broken our treaty.
Will you hear what I have to say? I chose this place so that the spirit of Blue Raven can hear our words.
No need for words.
I can't expect you to understand why I did what I felt I must.
If Spotted Elk is not returned before the time the sun rests, the Yamparika will make war.
Are you sure you want war? After having seen what peace has meant to your people?
And I have seen what your people's broken word has meant.
Very well, Chief. I'll not break our treaty, knowing that you wouldn't. But I must explain one thing. This is the medicine bag of Spotted Elk. It contains the picture of a woman who is not an Indian. A picture of his mother. Just as Quanah Parker's mother was not an Indian, was a prisoner of the Comanches.
That is so.
All right, I'll turn him over to you. Punish him any way you will. But remember this, Chief. You may punish only that part of him which is Comanche. By the terms of our treaty, you must not harm that part of him which is white man.
Come in. Yes, Sergeant? Beg your pardon, sir. I thought the captain would like to know that Colonel Mackenzie is approaching the fort. He has Chief Running Bear with him.
Thank you, Sergeant. You may go.
They returned to the fort as friends, not really understanding each other. But they had one thing in common, a desire for peace, a peace they hoped would spread to all the lands of the Comanche, and one day beyond, to all the wild, desolate country of the West. Mackenzie's raiders rode again and again, carrying out the secret orders of the President of the United States. Do whatever necessary to clean up the Southwest, Make it a decent place for people to live. Ride with Mackenzie's Raiders as they relive the blazing pages of history in the making.